Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Gul and MF Michael Fletcher alongside the guys Anthony Floyo, Michael Bullock, and guys, we have ourselves a very loaded show here tonight. Tonight we're going to be covering Smackdown Live. That was from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Then to be followed by a. Actually, no. You know what? We'll do it reverse. We'll start out with AEW Rampage first. Then we'll do the SmackDown because I feel like that's probably going to be better. And then we'll preview tomorrow night's Elimination Chamber show. So, yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We'll actually go in that particular order. So, because AEW actually started first here tonight. Uh, so, with that said, let's dive right on in, and we'll start off with AEW Rampage. So a little out of the norm that we normally would do. So, but I hope you guys do are excited, and let's do this. So we started off with the six man tag team fight for the AEW Trios Championship, as it was the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. They went up against AR Fox and Top Flight, Dante Martin and Darius Martin. When it was all said and done, winners of the bout in 10 minutes and 24 seconds, and still the AEW Trios champions, the Elite. Um, Solid matchup, good as it was is expected. I could say this was easily 3.5 star fight. I thought this was like I said, well done match, and could have it been a lot more better? Yeah, in certain ways, but I thought it was still a solid match to say the very least. So I really had nothing more to say, and no, it was pretty good. So Anthony, it's all yours.
12:24.
Yes.
Okay.
No, 10 minutes and 24 seconds.
10:24. Oh.
Yes.
Right. 3.25, teetering on 3.5. That's definitely the mark that I would give it here. It was a rematch from last week's Dynamite, so we already knew what kind of performance to expect from both teams. Since there was no first-time jitters, both teams took the opportunity to have some fun. Trying to recap all of the action in a bout like this would be almost impossible. These are 6 guys who all work at a breakneck speed, so they packed a lot into the time they had. We saw a lot of teamwork on both sides, some high-flying spots, and several creative counters. Unfortunately, this match is not going to be for everybody. What it lacked in psychology and storytelling, it made up with exciting moves from both teams. Rampage usually starts with the competitors in the first bouts already in the ring to save time on entrances, but AEW paid good money for the Elite's entrance music, so it makes sense that these teams were given proper entrances. AR Fox had so many cool moments in this bout that listing all of them would take way too long. Just go see this match. It's a lot of fun. And then the House of Black showing up for just a couple of seconds was good enough to make it clear that they are coming for the Trios titles. Sometimes simple is better. I believe Revolution, it will be the Elite versus the House of Black for the AEW Trios Championship. Wow, what a match that's going to be. Some are saying this might be too soon to do it, but others, like myself, I'm looking forward to it. So that's another potential. That's a great number 3 behind the 2 big main events we already have for Revolution. Moxley and Hangman in that Texas Death Match, and of course, MJF and Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship in that 60-minute Iron Man match. So 3.25, teetering on 3.5. Another fun match with these 6. So not much more for me to say. So Michael Bullock, come on in, Phenom, fresh off another one of our legendary Smackdown chats, of course. And what a way to start it off here on Rampage tonight. The Elite, they got more than they could bargain for. They got a hell of a try from Top Flight and AR Fox one more time, but they put them away once and for all. And now it's looking like we're going to get the Elite versus the House of Black for the Trios Championships. No doubt. And don't be surprised if they do that at Revolution.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, I think this is definitely going to go down at Revolution, no doubt about it. So, 3.25, 3.5. I definitely agree with the rating there. I mean, it's definitely what you expect when you got the caliber of these three teams or these teams here, and basically, yeah, I mean, the outcome to me was never in doubt, but yeah, but yeah, AR Fox and Top Flight definitely gave the Elite all they can handle, and yeah, and yeah, you get excuse me, yeah, when you get the House of Black and the Elite at Revolution, yeah, definitely sign me up for that sucker. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Let's move on, Fletch.
Yeah, so next up that we did have was we had Absolute Ricky Starks versus Daniel Garcia. Ricky Starks wins the match in 9 minutes and 42 seconds. Anthony, you lead off.
Yes, I do. 3.25 for this one. It was kind of surprising to see this match in the middle of the show instead of being the main event or the opener, but they treated it like they were the most important bout on the card. Both men were doing their best to make this feel personal and competitive. Action Andretti prevented Sammy Guevara from getting involved and chased him away from the ring as they fought. And the distraction allowed Starks to escape Garcia's submission and hit a huge spear before finishing him off with Rochambeau for the win. And then Guevara grabbed the mic and demanded a match with Action Andretti next week. Quick but entertaining chapter in the ongoing feud between Ricky Starks and the JAS. A little surprising to see Garcia by himself, but it made sense for Starks to have a fair shot at winning after getting screwed over in his last match. Walking across the top rope while holding your opponent's arm for stability is one of those spots that looks cool but makes no sense. Why wouldn't Garcia just yank him down from the rope? The Undertaker made this spot famous, but it's not always easy to make it look logical. Garcia is never going to look right. Scratch that. And Starks did a good job selling the leg injury, so his eventual win seemed hard fought. So I can give this about 3 to 3.25 stars for the effort. So not much more to say here. Michael Bullock, Ricky Starks getting the win here tonight, and next week, I don't know if it'll be on Dynamite or Rampage, but we know next week, Sammy Guevara will go one-on-one with Action Andretti.
Yeah, that should be a good one with Sammy Guevara and Action Andretti. So yeah, 3.25 for this encounter here. I mean, I thought it was a good match here, no doubt about it. Yeah, so there's really nothing more to add on to it. So it is yours, Fletch.
Yeah, so three and a quarter stars, no doubt about it. I really got nothing more to say about it there. So we got with a Jade Cargill squash fight. She won her match in about a minute and 8 seconds. So nothing to do in there. And our main event of the evening was Dustin Rhodes versus Swerve Strickland. Dustin Rhodes won the match in 12 minutes and 26 seconds. Via disqualification because of the fact that Swerve's boys jumped in, but before they could do any more damage, well, somebody came back. Who am I? I am Keith Lee. Get ready, man. It's about to go down. He's back, better than ever. Michael Bullock, you lead off.
How do you follow that? My gosh.
I don't know how you follow that, but yeah, I'll give this about another 3.25. I could have given it maybe a little bit higher, but the DQ finish did take away from it. But yeah, I mean, Keith Lee is back, and let's just say he's got some unfinished business with his former partner Swerve Strickland and his cronies. So yeah, so it may have ran away from him for now, Swerve, but at some point in time you're gonna have to come face to face with the Limitless One. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
Meth, are you there?
I'm sorry. Some way, somehow, my mic got muted. How did that happen? All right. Anyway, 3.25 stars. I thought it was all right. Could have been a lot more better. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I thought they did a good job with it. So, yeah, solid match. But the biggest talking point out of it, the return of Keith Lee. He's back. And boy, I mean, what a pop he got when he came back. So, yeah, nothing more to say. And Florio, it's yours.
What was that time of the fall again?
I want to say 12. Let me see. 12:26.
All right. By default, this was the fight of the night, even though we had the DQ finish here. This was the fight of the night, but only by a small margin. The best part about it was that it felt like they saved the shenanigans for the end and allowed both men to shine for the majority of the time they were given. When it looked like the natural was about to win, Parker Boudreaux pulled him out of the ring, threw him into the steps for a DQ, and then Keith Lee made his return to save Dustin from having his head crushed against the cinder block. The release German suplex, Rhodes hit looked like he let it go just a split second too soon, but they still made it work. Swerve hit a nice code red at one point. Rhodes sold it well, and the way Swerve sold the crossroads was awesome. So I'll give this about maybe 3.5 for the effort. So with that, we get to our overall review.
Not bad of a show. Pretty good. I thought it was 6 out of 10. I'm not going to go any more than that. Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, about 6, 6.5. I mean, the fight of the night was the main event, not by much. Another fun 6-man sprint with the Elite and Top Flight and AR Fox. And that's pretty much it. So 6.5 for me. Bullet take it home, and then we'll get into what ended up being a very exciting Friday night SmackDown go-home show for the Elimination Chamber in Montreal tonight.
Yeah, this was definitely a 6 out of 10 for me. I mean, it definitely could have been better, but it is what it is. So with that being said, Fletch, let's get into Friday Night SmackDown from Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Yeah, oh, by the way, the site and the home of tomorrow night's Elimination Chamber show, the Bell Center in Montreal. Started it off with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Shotzi and Natalya. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler winning the match in 13:05. I mean, wow. What a way to jump this baby off. Easily 3.25 stars. I mean, when you give these ladies 13:05, that's the most I've ever seen a women's match get in WWE. So, I mean, props to them for giving us a great match and a barn burner. And Ronda looked really good in the ring. Probably her personal best, I have to say. She really looked better, looked a lot more, in the past. So I thought she did a great job. So yeah, there's really nothing more to add. And Anthony, for me, I'll even say one of the fights of the night. This was a sleeper fight of the night for me. They did a great job with this match.
Agreed. Sleeper fight of the night for me as well. I didn't have any high hopes going into this, to be honest. And I told Bullet that during our SmackDown chat tonight. But hey, pleasant surprise. What can I say? One thing was abundantly clear early and often here. Rousey will excel at this particular point in her career as a tag team wrestler. When not faced with the task of carrying the match, she can explode into a bout and hit her signature stuff while relying on the more seasoned Baszler to shoulder the majority of the work. It's a formula that worked here and frankly led to a much better match than we had been privy to out of the baddest woman on the planet over the last year. Shotzi shined early, drawing a strong reaction heading into the break, while Natalya was the clear fan favorite because, hello, we were in Canada. This did everything it needed to and helped present the heels as a legitimate threat in a tag team division that needs stars and renewed focus. The Montreal audience greeted Natalya with a big pop just one night before she competes in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. That same crowd showered Rousey with chants of "You can't wrestle." Shotzi wiped out Rousey and Baszler, entering the break. The ballsy badass delivered a DDT on the ring apron, wiping Rousey out in a spot that went far better Friday night than it did last November at Survivor Series. So during the War Games. So, actually in that women's title match, they weren't in War Games. That's right. So 3 1/4, 3.5 stars. Sleeper fight of the night for me. Absolutely. I 100% agree with everything MF just said here. So, Michael Bullock, color me surprised. I mean, you remember what I said during our SmackDown chat tonight. I didn't really have any high hopes going into this, but they got time. They got a commercial break, and when you get at least one or two of those, that means something good's going to come out of it, and something good did come out of this. Rousey and Natalya may have won. I mean, Rousey and Baszler rather may have won the match, but a strong outing from Shotzi and especially Natty in Canada. So 13:05, 3 1/4, 3.5 for me. Sleeper fight of the night.
Yeah, this was definitely the sleeper fight of the night. I mean, I thought this wasn't going to be anything good. I mean, I thought that Rousey and Baszler were going to squash these two, which I think, to me, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, would have been the wrong move because, hello, Natalya's from Canada, and for her to be squashed in her home country, I think it would have rubbed a lot of people in the wrong way. But this got a good amount of time, and yeah, I mean, the fans basically were chanting to Rousey that you can't wrestle, and well, she basically almost gave the middle finger right back to them, saying, "Yes, I can," and basically tapped out Shotzi at the end. So in the end, it was Rousey getting the last laugh on the Canadians. So, but yeah, I mean, 3 1/4, 3.5, sleeper fight of the night. It's your Sledge.
Yeah, so then after that, the next up we had was Drew McIntyre and Sheamus versus the Viking Raiders. It finally happened. Well, sit back and enjoy this one, folks. McIntyre and Sheamus wins the match. I can't believe I'm about to say this one. 17 minutes and 20 seconds. You heard me right. 17:20. The time of the fall. Anthony Florio. Gee, I wonder what you're about to say.
Banger after banger after banger after banger. Yeah, we got it here tonight. Fight of the night, no question about it. 4 to 4 1/4 stars. Wow. This was a very good, hard-hitting tag team bout that suckered fans into thinking the Viking Raiders might actually win on more than one occasion. The babyfaces stayed in the match just long enough to score the win, which was probably the outcome. Despite the outcome, Eric and Ivar looked like the equals of the genuine main event opposition, which will only benefit them in the long run. That is if Triple H and the creative team can find something to keep them featured consistently. Sheamus delivered a massive crucifix bomb from the middle rope to Ivar. Eric attempted to counter a bro kick into a powerbomb, but failed. Still, he saved the spot and delivered the move anyway. McIntyre flew through the air, wiping the heels out on the floor, and Valhalla provided a distraction that led to a near fall. Be a man fight, no question about it, and great win for McIntyre and Sheamus, and let's see what happens for them as they'll be beginning their road to WrestleMania. So the rumor for them right now, of course, this has been a rumor that's been circulating for a little bit. Talks of the two of them and then perhaps Gunther in a triple threat, perhaps for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Something we're gonna have to, think about. If they do that, look out. We got another banger right there. So with that, excuse me. So 4 to 4.25 stars, fight of the night, no doubt about it. So Michael Bullock, every bit of the Be a Man fight we expected going in. We knew it was going to be good. We didn't think it was going to be this good. Banger after banger after banger. They did it again.
Yeah, these two definitely delivered. I mean, this was definitely the fight of the night. 4 4.25. I mean, when you get these two in the same ring, you know it's going to be something really good. And boy, howdy, they really delivered on it and then some. I mean, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre basically got the last laugh after Eric and Ivar basically cost them a chance to be in the finals of the tag team, or the challenge for the titles, which basically, like you said, opened the door for Braun Strowman and Ricochet. So yeah, so nice little payback for them. So now what's next for these guys? So we'll have to wait and see on it. So 4 4.25, the fight of the night. It's your Sledge.
4 4.25, no doubt about it. You guys are absolutely right. This was excellent match, to say the very least. Nothing more to add here. Then we had a women's match. Asuka versus Liv Morgan. Asuka winning the match in 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Turned into a major brouhaha after, because all of the participants of the women's elimination chamber got involved. But you know what? I gotta say it. You score one from Monday Night Raw, as Asuka does take down Liv Morgan, who, some people are pushing for her maybe as a dark horse to win it, even though I think we all can agree Asuka's probably the odds-on favorite to win the women's elimination chamber tomorrow night. Obviously, you'll get our predictions later tonight, but Michael Bullock, it is yours nonetheless.
I'll give it about maybe 2.5 for the effort here. I mean, it was a solid match. I mean, obviously, this gives definitely Asuka some momentum going into the women's elimination chamber match. I mean, yeah, I mean, Asuka is the favorite, and obviously, Liv Morgan is a dark horse, but I think you're forgetting someone else who might have, who could definitely challenge Asuka as the odds-on favorite. Big Mommy Cool, Raquel
Rodriguez, yep. At least on the SmackDown side, I agree. She's probably the favorite on the SmackDown's end, but we'll see.
Yeah, but could you imagine if it comes down to those two tomorrow night?
It could.
Yeah, it could, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, we definitely got the preview after the match with what can we expect, because you had all the participants in a major brouhaha. So, but in the end, it was Asuka who got the last laugh, and so yeah, I mean, 2.5 stars. So Fletch, Asuka goes into this with some momentum. Will it definitely carry over? We'll find out.
She's got a lot of momentum, because remember, she also won the 6-woman tag on Monday night on Raw. So she's going in with some massive momentum, probably more momentum than any other woman going in that match, going into the Elimination Chamber tomorrow night. So no, I would probably say, if anything, the one that probably could win it all is Asuka. So I mean, if it is, then how's that gonna look? What's the body of work gonna be like? when she has to face off with Bianca Belair at WrestleMania? Well, we'll find out. But at the end of the day, yeah, this was a crazy, crazy, crazy outcome, and no doubts. But anything else, we'll see. Anthony Florio, it is yours as Asuka beats Liv.
2.5, 2 3/4 for the effort. The match itself was hotly contested, with each woman countering and reversing the other's signature offense. Unfortunately, it was overshadowed by the presence of Raquel Rodriguez, Carmella, Nikki Cross, and Natalya at ringside. Ultimately, Liv Morgan attempted to roll up, but Asuka countered into a submission, tapping her out for the submission win. All hell broke loose after the bell, but Asuka and Morgan cleared the ring, standing tall ahead of their opportunity to earn a shot at Bianca Belair in the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Let me tell you something funny that happened during this match. You had Carmella and you had Nikki Cross at the announce booth with Michael Cole and Wade Barrett. Nikki Cross appeared from out of nowhere and at one point sat directly on Wade Barrett's lap. And then at another, she asked Michael Cole if he would be her friend. Did you see what Nikki Cross did to Michael Cole during this match? Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny. I mean, she was literally all over him. And Michael Cole definitely had a mortified look on his face, I'm sure.
Imagine if we were doing that commentary. I probably would have been mortified myself of Nikki Cross. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say is wow.
If you didn't see what she did to Michael Cole, MF, oh my goodness. You should have seen it. I mean, she was literally all over. She was damn near molesting him, for goodness sakes. It was that funny. But all kidding aside, Liv Morgan delivered Oblivion from the middle rope for a 2 count. And then Carmella told Barrett on commentary, by marriage, I'm better than you at your job. So, wow. What else is there for me to say on that? So for me, this was 2.5, 2 3/4 at the absolute best. And what else? I don't know what else there is to say. Which we will get into in a little bit. When it comes to the Elimination Chamber, Asuka definitely is the odds-on favorite. And but her biggest threat for me, it is probably Raquel Rodriguez, maybe Liv Morgan as well. But my, it's going to be something else. So 2.5, 2 3/4. Bullock started this, right? So,
yes, he did.
Okay, so with that, we move on to the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship match, MF. The longest reigning champion of the 21st century, Gunther, looked to add another victim to his growing list of victims in the form of the upstart Madcap Moss.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything more to say. It was Gunther versus Madcap Moss for the Intercontinental title. Gunther winning the match in 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Solid match. Very good battle. Very good title fight. Look, I think we all could have predicted. I don't think none of us thought Madcap was going to win this, but boy, did he have himself quite a performance, and good for him. I enjoyed it. So Gunther successfully defends the title. What's next for him? Well, like you said, maybe a battle down the line where he's possibly fighting for the Intercontinental title against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre at Mania. We'll see, but whatever the case may be, solid match. Very good main event for the in-ring stuff. Anthony Florio, I'll give this about maybe a solid 3. I'll say 3 stars. Florio, it's yours.
Time of the fall one more time.
10-20.
10-20. That's 3 to 3 1/4 territory, MF. All right. So let me find out. All right. I'm still wondering why we're calling Moss Madcap. I mean, I think it's high time we get rid of the Madcap name and start calling him Riddick Moss again. I'd be all right with that. Regardless, the number one contender battled Gunther for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship in a match that netted the exact opposite reaction expected, as the Montreal fans were solidly behind the Reign General. Match was solid enough, and Moss put in the effort, but the layout did him little favor. First, the Montreal crowd was against him. Then, when they became less vocal, he was still counted at every turn by the champion. Despite getting some offense in, it felt very much like a one-sided title defense by Gunther, who never appeared to be in any real danger of losing his title. Michael Cole wrongly stated that this was Moss's first title opportunity. He's a former WWE 24/7 champion, and while that should not count, it kind of does. Gunther kicked out of the punchline, a moment Barrett put over very strong as a big deal. And the Montreal fans did the ole, ole, ole in anticipation of Sami Zayn, which we'll get to in a little bit. But nonetheless, 3 to 3 1/4 stars, third best fight of the night. So what is next? MF, there's no doubt about it. Like I've been saying, the hot rumor that I heard and that I shared in our messenger chat some time ago, the apparent plan is for Gunther to defend the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match. We get that. Look out. That's all I'm going to say. So, batten down the hatches. 3 1/4, Michael Bullock. Outcome never in doubt. But credit to Madcap. You know, he hung with the champ for a bit, but we all knew Gunther was going to win. And possibly a possible triple threat with Sheamus and Drew, maybe at Mania. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens with this. I mean, 3 1/4. I mean, it was a solid match. I mean, definitely Madcap Moss definitely took it right to Gunther. But yeah, the outcome was never in doubt here. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say except Fletch. It's time for Sami Zayn to come home.
Well, he sure indeed came home. Anthony Florio, I don't think there's anything more to say, man. I think the moment said for itself.
All right. I told Bullock this during our Smackdown chat, and MF, we'll see if you agree with me on this. Was it just me, or did this have the feel? Did this have almost same feel of in that very same building 21 years ago, the night after WrestleMania 18 on Raw, when Hulk Hogan had that epic standing ovation in Montreal?
Yes, very much so.
There you go. I rest my case. Okay. Hands down, the fight of the night. Sami Zayn returned home to Montreal in the closing segment of tonight's show to an ovation as loud as any in recent memory. Emotion painted his face as the fans greeted him with the ole, ole, ole in a note to his El Generico character. Then transition chants of Sammy and you deserve it and the whole nine. For minutes, he stood in the center of the ring, soaking in the moment as the fans rained down on him with a deafening show of appreciation and love. When he finally spoke, he exclaimed that it was Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn and the entire city of Montreal tomorrow night at Elimination Chamber. It was short, sweet, and fan-freaking-tastic. In an era in which deserved is regularly thrown around, Zayn epitomizes it. He has earned and deserved the moment here and tomorrow night. One of the best wrestlers on the roster and one of the most beloved performers of his generation. This is everything that should be his and more. If you are a fan of professional wrestling and are not excited for tomorrow's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view after this, nothing will get you there. Zayn wore emotion on his face, the enormity of the moment clearly getting to him. Chance of you deserve it. And like Sami said, tomorrow night is Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn in the entire city of Montreal. I have seen a lot of reviews and a lot of things on social media eating this up. Universal praise. One guy even said after seeing this, he kind of hopes to see Sammy walk out tomorrow night with the gold. And we'll get more into that when we preview that big main event in just a little bit. But oh my goodness, if it was any of us, we would have been the exact same way. I mean, and I'll openly admit it. There at times I'm an emotional guy, and if it was me, I don't know what I would have done. I mean, I would have. I think I would have been even more of an emotional wreck than Sammy was if it was me. So, wow, unbelievable. Sami Zayn getting one of the greatest crowd reactions in recent memory of what will be one of the most epic matches of the entire year tomorrow night. And the one reviewer said this bleep is making me want to see him actually win the bleeping titles tomorrow. I think that's the sentiment of so many others, not just him, but all of us as well. So, oh my God, I don't know what else there is to say. So, Michael Bullock, you know, we've had many of SmackDown and Raw chats over the last several years, and I don't know if we've ever seen anything more emotional than what we saw here tonight. I mean, Sami Zayn, I mean, like I said to you during our chat, and like I just said to MF now, this damn near had almost the exact same feel of Hulk Hogan in that same building at Monday Night Raw the night after WrestleMania 18, 21 years ago. What a moment.
Man, it really had that feeling. It really did. I mean, and of course, you also heard when Sammy came out, they brought back his old theme. I mean, the moment that music hit, I thought the roof was gonna collapse because that crowd went crazy for their hometown boy. I mean, and you could just see the emotion coming out of it. You could even see the tears coming down his eyes. I mean, and he was so passionate. He was short and sweet and to the point. It's Roman Reigns against Sami Zayn and all of Montreal, all of Canada. And I don't know about you, Fletch, but I mean, Florio even said this. Come tomorrow night's title match, I think this is going to be reminiscence of Money in the Bank 2011 when CM Punk was the hometown hero and John Cena was in enemy territory. I mean, Sami Zayn is going to be the hometown boy, and Roman Reigns, I don't care if you're the tribal chief, I don't care if you're the head of the table, but you are going to be walking into the Bell Center tomorrow night with the crowd basically all over your ass.
Yeah.
They're gonna be booing you like hell. Like the night when John Cena he got booed by that Chicago crowd in 2011. So
this is one of Canada's own going against I look, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. You could even say the CM Punk versus John Cena. This is going to have a multitude and a crowd in this match. Without a doubt, it's going to be, without a doubt, one of the most highly anticipated matches on this road to WrestleMania. And the thing was, going into it, this had no business of having any type of clout or any type of respect or any type of thing. This should have been Roman Reigns going through and moving on to his match against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. But with everything that has happened in the last few days or weeks, and especially after tonight, this really starts to make us wonder how this is going to look now. It changes everything because of the reaction and the attitude and the momentum that Sammy's got going into the Elimination Chamber tomorrow night, and we'll get into it in just a matter of minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, Roman's going to be, and it's not just Roman that's going to get booed. It's going to be the other members of the bloodline that are going to be, they're going to get crucified. Paul Heyman, Jimmy Uso, and Solo Sikoa, because all of them were the ones that ganged up on Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble. Yeah. You don't think the Montreal fans have forgotten about it?
No.
I don't think so.
And
they're gonna unleash hell. They're gonna boo them from the moment they come out.
But now here's the wild card. Jey Uso. Where does his allegiance lie? Now we'll get into that. We'll get into that because that could be the difference of everything. But we'll get into that. So
yeah, this was a segment of the night, hands down, far none, and the ultimate highlight of tonight's SmackDown. Yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, let's get into our overall thoughts.
Yeah. It basically cemented what this was. One of the best SmackDowns of the year. This was at least an 8.5. You could even make an argument for 9 out of 10 because that's what the show was. You know what? There's certain areas and certain places in the IWC, the wrestling world community, whatever you want to go. Tonight, SmackDown in Montreal was a special night, special moment. It was amazing. And if they bring this energy tomorrow night at the Bell Center in Montreal for Elimination Chamber, I'm telling you now, this could be the pay-per-view of the year. And I know, it's early. It's, we shouldn't judge it. Not yet. It's too soon. Whatever. I get it. But let me say it. What this did tonight cemented the momentum and gave us everything we wanted. And now we're just T-minus 21 hours from this event. And we're excited. This had the makings of being one of the best events of the year. The crowd is going to be electric. The event is going to be electric. The matches, well, we'll see how the matches are going to go, but I'll tell you one thing for sure. It's going to be one of those kind of nights. I mean, if tonight's SmackDown's any indication of what the Elimination Chamber could be tomorrow, oh my God. Oh my God is all I'm going to say. Anthony, 8.5 to 9 out of 10. This was one of the best SmackDowns of the year. Great action, but the atmosphere in Montreal was just too freaking good.
If they bring the energy, MF, no, they are, and they will bring the energy tomorrow night. Believe me. Don't be surprised if it's even louder tomorrow than it was tonight, for goodness sakes. But we'll get into that in a minute. I'm right there with you. 8.5 to 9 out of 10 for me. Only what we only had maybe one. We had one bad match on this show. Actually, no. I think all the matches, were solid to good to great. By default, the worst one was probably the Asuka and Liv Morgan matchup, even though it was not remotely bad at all. It was just that the other matches were that much better, and especially McIntyre and Sheamus against the Viking Raiders. That women's tag team match was far more entertaining than it had any right to be. Pleasant surprise. And then you had a solid Intercontinental matchup. And then the Asuka and Liv match, which was solid as well. All the matches solid to good to great. The only remotely bad thing on there was the stuff with Hit Row. But thankfully, Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy put an end to that quickly. But of course, what this will be most remembered for tonight, Sami Zayn getting the Hulk Hogan-like reception here tonight, like Hogan did in that building the night after WrestleMania 18, where he got that long-standing ovation and the fans, going bonkers, and to the point where Hogan was trying. You remember Hogan was trying to start cutting his promo, but the fans just wouldn't let him. They were just going bonkers for him, and they did the exact same thing for Sammy here. You notice Sammy was trying to get going, and the fans weren't having it. They were just going. They were just cheering for him the same way they did Hogan 21 years ago. So, wow. But that's definitely going to be the biggest talking point from this show tonight. Short, sweet, to the point, fantastic. And how can you not be rooting for the guy? How can you not root for the guy tomorrow night? How can you not? So, but not much more for me to say on this. 8.5 to 9 out of 10 for me. So take away that Hit Row nonsense. We probably would have been talking perfect 10. Probably. But it's 8.5 to 9 for me. Fantastic show. Best of 2023 so far. Michael Bullock, it's not a matter of if they bring the energy. The fans are going to bring that same energy tonight, maybe even more so tomorrow. But 8.5 to 9. Every match solid to good to great. One last segment, but other than that, the talking point, as great as all the matches were, the main talking point, Sammy.
I'm giving it. Forget the 8.5. I'm giving it 9. I mean, yeah, you only had one bad thing, and that was the Hit Row. But thankfully, Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy put a stop to it. But by default, the worst fight of the night was Liv Morgan and Asuka. Even though it wasn't that bad of a match at all. I mean, all the other matches were really good. But the highlight is obviously Sami Zayn coming home, and the crowd was just so into it. So, and they're going to bring that energy tomorrow night. So, on the topic of that, Fletch, let's get into Elimination Chamber.
All right, we're going to start it off, guys. We will start it off with the 2 non-chamber matches, and then we'll get into the chamber fights, and then main eventing it with Roman versus Sammy. So first, the 2 non-elimination chamber matches, a mixed tag team fight, as it will be Beth Phoenix and Edge going up against the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Now, I've made it abundantly clear how I felt this match was going to go. I feel like if you're going to give the win, you got to give this one to Judgment Day. And here's the reason why. Rhea Ripley. If it wasn't for that, I would have gone the other way. But Rhea needs a moment. Rhea needs to solidify herself as a threat for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania. So for that, and that alone, I'm going with the Judgment Day to win this match tomorrow night. Anthony, it's yours.
MF, you made my point for me, but I'll make it again anyway. The deciding factor in this match is that Rhea Ripley won the Women's Royal Rumble and is heading to WrestleMania to challenge Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Oh, by the way, MF, next Friday night on Smackdown in Evansville, Indiana, Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley are going to be face-to-face. Think about that. I know I can hear you salivating right now. I really can. I swear. All kidding aside, Ripley has not wrestled since winning the Rumble, and having her immediately lose momentum by dropping a match to Edge and Beth Phoenix, a couple of established legends and Hall of Famers who are bulletproof at this point, would make absolutely no sense. Sometimes it really is that easy to determine how a match will play out. So, MF, you nailed it right on the head. Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, the winners of this match. Michael Bullock, are we going to make it unanimous?
Yes, I'm going to make it unanimous. And like you said, the factor here, like you guys have said, Rhea Ripley. I mean, if she didn't win the Women's Royal Rumble, I would have easily said Edge and Beth Phoenix wins this one. But Rhea needs this victory. She needs that momentum going into her SmackDown Women's title match against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. I mean, if Edge and Beth Phoenix pull it off, then what was the point of Rhea Ripley winning this Royal Rumble? You would literally kill the momentum. So yeah, Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley wins this one. Nothing more to say. Let's move on, Fletch.
All right, the other non-elimination chamber match, it's going to be Brock Lesnar going one-on-one against Bobby Lashley. Florio, I got to do it. I have to say it. God, I hope they reinforce this ring tomorrow night.
Oh, you ain't kidding. Okay. In all honesty, the most realistic option here may be to have the pair go to a no contest due to a wild brawl, allowing the rubber match to carry over to WrestleMania. There's likely no bigger Mania match for either man available, so blowing off the feud on the big stage may be the best option. If I were forced to pick either man to get the win, I would have to side with Brock Lesnar. Lashley has gotten over on Lesnar at basically every turn, including this past Monday night on Raw, including directly after Lesnar defeated him last November at Crown Jewel. And at some point, a star like Lesnar gets the quote-unquote get-right moment. On the other hand, the outcome of this match depends on WWE's WrestleMania plans. Candidly, the once fantasy feud has run its course, but here we are. The Haas's are split 1-1 in their series, and a no contest is in play should Creative opt to conclude the trilogy at WrestleMania. If someone's getting the win at Elimination Chamber, maybe it could be Bobby Lashley. The Hurt Business never really got the run they deserved, and there may be interest in reforming the faction. Come on, we've been seeing Sheldon Benjamin and Cedric Alexander chatting it up with MVP backstage on Raw. It's very clear MVP's collaboration with Omos flopped, and Lashley's in need of help. Having the Hurt Business interfere in the match gives Lashley the upper hand, gives the group a big reintroduction, and allows WWE wiggle room to stretch the feud to WrestleMania. But after what we saw on SmackDown tonight, let's not forget, the only meh thing of tonight's show was that segment where Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy interrupted Hit Row and took him out. What did Bray Wyatt say during that? He says, regardless of who wins, whether it's Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley, I think it's going to be Bray Wyatt against one of those two guys at WrestleMania. Now, Wyatt and Lashley would be interesting. It would be an interesting match. That would be a first-time match. But gentlemen, let's not forget. Let's take a trip back in the Wayback Machine, without Sherman and Peabody. That is the year 2016. 7 years. Remember what happened in the Royal Rumble between the Wyatt family and Brock Lesnar during that championship Royal Rumble match? We all remember it. We all thought
Bray
it was
the one who cost Lesnar.
And what did we all think? We all thought it was going to be Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 32.
Well, Well, actually, it was supposed to happen at an event called Roadblock.
Yep, but it didn't. And we did not get it at WrestleMania 32. Instead, Bray Wyatt was relegated to that segment with The Rock and the returning John Cena, and Brock Lesnar ended up going up against Dean Ambrose, aka John Moxley, in a no holds barred street fight. For that reason, I'm gonna say Brock Lesnar wins this match. Well, there's two reasons. One, Lashley got the upper hand Monday Night on Raw. First and foremost, booking 101. If we get the match without a no contest and we get an actual winner, it's Lesnar. Not just for that reason, because of the booking 101. But back at WrestleMania 32, we thought it was going to be Brock Lesnar against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. Well, after what we saw tonight, I think we're going to get that match 7 years in the making. I think we are going to see Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt. And remember, MF, you had said that you said it on Ridiculously Raw a couple of weeks ago when you called this event a mini WrestleMania, which, yeah, it is, based on the stacked card we have here. You also went as far as to say that if this match goes down and there's no chicanery, you thought, maybe WWE has bigger plans for WrestleMania. You thought maybe Gunther. No, it's not going to be Gunther. I think Gunther's going to face McIntyre and Sheamus in a triple threat for the IC belt. I think that's looking more and more realistic. Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Could you imagine if that goes down? Another. You're making this out to be the biggest Mania of all time, and it's not even 40. Next year's 40. Imagine how humongous that's going to be when they do the big milestone anniversaries. 10, 20, 30, anyone? All of them amazing and special in their own way. 40 in the Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field. Think about how crazy that's going to be. But at the end of the day, Brock Lesnar wins this match, in my opinion, mainly because of booking 101. Michael Bullock, if that's true, and we get this match and there's no contest chicanery or any of that, and after what Bray Wyatt said tonight on Smackdown, could you imagine if it ends up being at WrestleMania at SoFi, Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt 7 years in the making after we thought we were going to get it at 32, but we didn't? Bullock, your thoughts? I got Brock Lesnar winning.
Yeah, that would be something if that happens. But yeah, because of Bobby Lashley going over Monday Night on Raw, and like you said, with a match that was supposed to happen at 32, but we didn't get it, I think it's the obvious reason I got to go with Brock Lesnar as well. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Lashley too. This is going to be very interesting to see. I don't think there's anything more for us to say there. So now we go into the two Elimination Chamber matches. Starting it off with the women. The opportunity to fight Bianca Belair at WrestleMania is on the line for the women. And here are the participants. We have Asuka, Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya, and Carmella. Michael Bullock, front and center. Who wins the match? Who's going to WrestleMania to face off with Bianca Belair?
Well, obviously the favorite in this one, Fletch, is Asuka. There's no doubt about it. The dark horse, you could say, I would have to say is Liv Morgan because of what she brought tonight on SmackDown, but the favorite on the SmackDown side, and like you agreed upon, it's Raquel Rodriguez. We know it's not going to be Carmella. We know it's not going to be Nikki Cross. And as much as I would love to see Natalya win it, I just don't see it happening. I think the final two, when it comes down to it, I think it's going to be Asuka and Raquel Rodriguez. But in the end, I am going to go with Asuka to win this match and to go on to WrestleMania in SoFi Stadium and challenge Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title. And let's just say, you get this, oh boy, I think Bianca's going to be in for the fight of her life against this new look Asuka. So there's really nothing more to say. I got Asuka winning. It's yours, Fletch.
I agree. I think Asuka wins it. I think Asuka wins it all, and I do have her winning it and getting the opportunity at that title. You basically made all the points that I was expecting. Like you said, Natalya, Nikki Cross, Carmella, no chance. I don't see any of them making a much of a run. Liv could make another run here, because remember, she was number 2 in the Royal Rumble, went all the way to the very end, only to lose at the end. Where I do believe they're trying to push her again and do it the right way. So I could see her being another Iron Woman, get there to the end, but probably not getting to the finish line. I think that's definitely there. Raquel Rodriguez, I think her time is not yet. She's a year away. I think she'll stay strong. I think they'll make her look great. But again, a year away. Asuka is the here and the now. A lot of people's been saying, oh, we haven't seen the killer Asuka. And this is not the Asuka of old, guys. This is Kana from Japan. That was when she was literally the Joker style killing machine in Japan that made her what she was prior to the success that she got. So at the end of the day, I'm with you guys. I think Asuka wins it all. She gets the shot at the title, and Anthony, you have final say.
And you said that this Asuka that we're seeing right now, I'm at the quote unquote new Asuka. You saw it where? New Japan and Stardom, was it?
It was in Stardom.
Stardom
had it more than anybody else. Yeah, she was in Stardom when she brought this Asuka out. New Japan never had women's wrestling until just recently.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Yep.
All right, because Bullock and I, we're talking about it, of course, during the chat as well, and we brought it up. So just wanted clarification on that. All right. So with that, the return of quote unquote evil Asuka has been a devilish treat. Her makeover at the Royal Rumble elicited a big fan response, and she has been booked well since, picking up good wins and showing a return to her old dominance. Asuka is certainly the most credible competitor in this chamber match, and her new gimmick needs to be protected. All acts cool off, so it's imperative that WWE continues to present this unhinged version of Asuka as a threat. And with WrestleMania on the horizon, Asuka is also the safest choice for a smooth build to a title match on the biggest show of the year. Winner of this Elimination Chamber match, and the woman who will go on to challenge Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania and SoFi, the quote-unquote new Asuka. So it's Asuka for me. So MF, let's move on. I presume we will be moving now on to the other Elimination Chamber match for the United States Heavyweight Championship. First time ever for that title.
That is indeed correct. The reigning champion, Austin Theory, going up against Seth freaking Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford. All right. Let me do process of elimination here. I don't think it's going to be Montez Ford. Even though I think he's going to be really good, I don't think Montez is going to win it all. I just don't see it happening. I don't see Montez winning it. Damian Priest? Maybe. But I don't see it. Bronson Reed, I think he's going to do fine, but I think it's going to be too soon for him. Now, there's some people that saying Johnny Gargano. I but I will hold thought on that. Seth freaking Rollins is the odds-on favorite. Here's the problem with that. So supposedly he's supposed to be rumored fighting against Logan Paul at WrestleMania. Do you honestly believe that match should have the United States Heavyweight Championship on the line? Absolutely not. It doesn't need it. It's not warranted. Now, I would be down for a one-on-one match. I would be down for them facing off at WrestleMania, but it doesn't need a title. It doesn't. The only logical choice for me, and I know I'm getting a lot of rip from a lot of people when I say this, Austin Theory overcoming the odds and successfully defending this title. It is not a popular decision. It is not. It is definitely against the grain. But if you're gonna solidify him and solidify the title, this man needs to successfully reign it. And you can do whatever you want with it at WrestleMania. But for me, this is the only outcome that seems sensible. Winner of the bout, and still the United States Heavyweight Champion, Austin Theory. Florio, go.
There are not a ton of credible winners heading into the match. Johnny Gargano has largely been a comedy act since returning. Seth Rollins recently lost the title and seems tied to a possible WrestleMania outing against Logan Paul. Damian Priest is a secondary stable member. Bronson Reed does not have the momentum, nor have the fans show any interest in him on Raw to enter WrestleMania as a defending champion, and Montez Ford is one half of a struggling tag team. If anyone were to dethrone Theory, it would likely be Ford. There is certainly desire in seeing what the athletic, fan-friendly superstar could do as a breakout single star. Ultimately, WWE seems somewhat committed to Theory's reign, and a credible challenger is on the horizon. Theory said last summer he's quote-unquote pretty confident that he would face John Cena at WrestleMania. There aren't many contestants in the Cena sweepstakes beyond Theory and even Logan Paul. If we're getting Theory versus Cena, then the champion will certainly leave Elimination Chamber with his title in hand. So I agree with MF. Winner and still the United States Heavyweight Champion. It is Austin Theory. Bullock, are we going to make it unanimous one more time, or do you have a new champion being crowned?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm going with Austin Theory to successfully defend the United States Championship because, I mean, would I want to see Seth Rollins win it? Absolutely, but because of the rumored match against Logan Paul, it doesn't need the United States Championship, like you said, Fletch. So, yeah, and none of them are, the others are, would say, threats. So the obvious choice is Austin Theory to retain the title. So, yeah, there's nothing more to say except, Fletch, it's time for the main event. The undisputed WWE Universal Championship and one of the most talked about matches we have seen in a long time.
And most anticipated as well.
So, Fletch, it's yours.
It is Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. There's nothing more to say. It is the main event. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
I've never been more excited to lead off than I am here tonight. All right, let's get the obvious out of the way. This has the makings of the hottest and most anticipated championship match probably since CM Punk and John Cena in Chicago, Money in the Bank 2011. The crowd is going to be insane. I think this crowd could be even more electric than Chicago. I really do. And Sammy's going to get the hero's welcome, just like Punk did. And Roman Reigns is going to get the Cena treatment. It's going to be major crucifixion here, no doubt about that. At any other point in the year, it feels as though there had been a bit more unpredictability to how this match could play out. Sami Zayn is as hot a babyface as WWE has had in a long time, probably since Daniel Bryan, because of the masterfully crafted Bloodline storyline. The crowd in Montreal will be incredibly hot for Sami, and an upset championship win, and I'll go as far as to call it, a la Eddie Guerrero and Brock Lesnar in 2004, No Way Out in San Fran, would be an all-time moment in WWE history. However, the reality is that Roman's long run with the titles is not going to end this close to WrestleMania. The real question is if things play out in a way that alters the WrestleMania main event. Will something happen that inserts Sami Zayn into that match, turning the match between Reigns and Royal Rumble winner Cody Rhodes into a triple threat? That remains to be seen. Reigns versus Zayn should have an amazing and great atmosphere and tell a great story, but it would be a legitimate shocker if Sami left Montreal with the titles. As much as we would love to see it, as much as the IWC would love to see it, and of course, as much as Montreal wants to see it, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. The winner and still the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, it's Roman Reigns. Because of, and I got two words for you as to the reason why. Jey Uso. Jey Uso is going to show up. He's going to be conflicted, but then he will ultimately turn on Sami, help Roman escape one more time with the titles. I think this has the potential to be an early contender for match of the year because of the body of work. This has the potential to be an all-timer. And all I can say is this match alone is the reason why I'm excited for this event. It is, without a doubt, the most exciting B pay-per-view card we have ever seen. I think we can all agree on that. We've had a lot of B pay-per-views that are like, yeah, whatever, so what? Not this one. It's the most exciting final pay-per-view stop on the road to WrestleMania event we have ever seen. Card is stacked from the top all the way to the bottom, and I don't know what else there is to say except I have never been more excited about a B pay. It's probably the most excited I've been for a B pay-per-view probably since the 2011 Money in the Bank. Maybe even more recent than that. I don't know, and this match alone is the reason why. So. And before I give it to Bullock, how many guys? I mean, there have been so many guys that have come so close to taking down Roman. So many guys. Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Edge, John Cena, Finn Balor, Drew, and of course, as of right now, the one who came the absolute closest, of course, was back in September, Drew McIntyre, Clash at the Castle in Cardiff. But I think tomorrow night, the only thing that Sami's going to accomplish, he's not going to win the titles, but I think he's going to come even closer than Drew ever did. Drew was the closest to ending the run. I think, however, Sami is going to give Roman more fits than any other challenger combined over this over 2-year reign. So I would love to see it. We would all love to see it. But I'll say it like this, though. If, and this is a big if, God forbid, they strap Sami, there's only one word that comes to mind as to how that crowd's going to be. Bonkers. That's the word of the day. So I don't know what else there is to say that hasn't been said already. This is going to steal the damn show. This is going to be the fight of the night. This is going to be an early match of the year contender. We all want to see Sami win, but I'm sorry. I hate to I hate to be the man who tells it like it is, and but we got to be realistic. This close to WrestleMania, you think they're going to end Roman's epic run here? Not quite. Winner and still WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. But don't worry, he's going to get his comeuppance, but that comeuppance will be at WrestleMania at the hands of the American Nightmare. So not much more for me to add. Michael Bullock, when was the last time, not just the three of us, but everyone in the IWC, fans of professional wrestling in general, were this excited, not only for a B pay-per-view, but also for a WWE or any type of world title match?
I can't even remember. I mean, I've never been this excited for it, and this is the reason why. Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn. This is going to be like I said, it's going to be like Money in the Bank 2011 in Chicago. Sami's going to get the hero's welcome, and Roman Reigns is going to get crucified big time by that crowd. And Sami is definitely going to give him the fight of his life. And not only me, not only Florio, not only Fletch, but everybody, they want Sami Zayn to have his moment. They want him to win this. But unfortunately, I mean, I have to be the one to deliver the cold, hard dose of reality. That's not going to happen. I mean, this close to WrestleMania, you really think Roman Reigns is going to lose the title to Sami Zayn? No, absolutely not. So sorry to say it, Montreal fans. If you want to come after me, go right ahead. I don't care. The winner and still undisputed WWE Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, and it's all because it's going to be Jey Uso. Jey Uso is going to think, I mean, it's going to make Sami think he's coming to help him, but to only screw him out of it, a la the Montreal Screwjob Part 3. I mean, and the reason why I say Part 3, because, well, obviously, Bret Hart in 1997 and The Undertaker in 2009. Sorry, Sami, but you're going to join those two guys to say that they got screwed out of a world title in Montreal. As much as it pains for me to have to say it, but winner and still undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Fletch, take it home.
I agree with it. I do believe it's going to be Roman Reigns successfully defending the title. Like you said, I think you guys have said everything that needed to be said. So, yeah, Roman wins, successfully defends it, and we'll go from there. So, with that said, guys, yeah, so now we move on, and we're going to wait till Friday. So, actually, we'll wait till Sunday night. So, Sunday night will be the recap for the show. We'll do it at 10 o'clock. And there's really nothing more to add. So we'll see you guys on Sunday at 10. For Anthony Florio, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Fletcher. Saying so long, everybody. And we'll see you guys on Sunday.